Okay, y'all can go to Luke 21. Luke 21. I say shalom, 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 shalom. Mashupakha, called BANYAMYAN. Shalom this Shabbat day. We're going to continue our lesson where we left off from last week with some additional information. And also, too, coming up, don't forget, January 25th is the Mashura Yasha'Allah, Mashura Yasha'Allah in Tampa, Florida. January 25th to the 28th of January. Okay, it's going to be down in Florida. Okay, it's going to be beautiful. Lots of events, the classes, the Hebrew classes, the midwife classes, the history class, the SABBATH class. All right, and we're going to have entertainment. It's going to be nice. We're going to have the vendors set up where you can bring your goods, your products, your innovations, your artwork, all the different things that you have created, that you want to display, that you want to show, that you want to exchange, that you want to sell. Okay, we're going to have the meet and greet, which is going to be Thursday. Friday is going to be the camp day. Saturday is going to be the Shabbat. All right, and Sunday is going to be the cookout. It's going to be the final and last days. And we'll have a nice time. We're going to have the music, the band playing. It's going to be nice. It's going to be good. It's going to be in Tampa, Florida. And I thank everyone that gave their donation and supported. And we appreciate it very much. And come on out to the Ha-Ma-Sharashi Allah, which is the Masharallah, which is Ha in Hebrew. All right? Ha-Ma-Shara Yasha Allah. All right? So that's going to be in Florida, most High willing. It's going to be nice. It's not going to be cold in Tampa, Florida. It's probably going to be like in the 70s. All right? Around this time in Florida is usually nice. All right? And with that, we jump into our subject and we see what's taking place in the world. We see America, England. America joined forces with other European powers to put down the Houthis in Yemen. America said the Houthis are becoming a problem. They're interrupting with their maritime shipment of vessels going through the Red Sea. So America and Britain said they got to put a stop to the Houthis because of what they're doing. So America bombarded and bombed the Houthis certain areas in Yemen, which is all good because it's going to lead to a more escalation and it's going to make all the Arab nations join together to fight against the beast. But in the process of this year, the nations going to be fighting amongst themselves. It's all about power. It's all about geopolitical power. Who could control the resources and the best navigational access to receiving the oil and the resources of the earth. That's what it's boiling down to. See, the era what they call the so-called Middle East, through the Red Sea and that era, the Suez Canal, those are big shipping areas where ships, big international ships carry oil and cargo, vessels, electronic components, parts, everything is being shipped through that area. So it's a massive connection to connect to parts of the world, to the east, to the west, to the south, to the north. So that area is a vital seaport for the European powers. The European powers control this earth on a maritime, economical, political, right, and a wide scale level. So they don't want their flow of goods and shipment to be interrupted. So they will do anything to put down that cause that the Houthis is forming against them. But this is the Most High putting that spark into all these nations, all right, to bring down the world powers, the beast system. See, it's time for the beast to come down, and the beast is going to come down. The beast time is short. America's time is short, so the Most High is putting that spirit into all the nations to start to work against the beast. So the beast is going to fight to keep their system and their kingdom going, but it's not going to last. Okay? So we're going to go into the scriptures, and we're going to pick up from where we left off last week, and we're going to add more information onto it. The topic of the class was the year 2024 will be a more prophetic year. As we get closer and closer to the time, all right? Because I read some books and historical facts about most ruling empires and kingdom. The lifespan and time of most kingdoms is 250 years, all right? And that's a historical fact, that most ruling empires last and rule for 250 years, okay? And when we get to the year 2026, that will make America's 250 year of rulership as a ruling empire. And that significant period is a very prominent point of prophetic prophecies being unfolded, okay? So we're going to see what's going to happen as we get closer to that time period, all right? And the reason why I said that, because it was a book written by English historian named Glubb, and he did his research and his history concerning major world empires and kingdoms, that their lifespan is a lifespan of 250 years. And after that 250 year mark, that empire kingdom goes down. It comes to its final end. All right? And when you check out the history of England, Spain, and most of the ruling empires, the Persian Empire, the Greeks, all right, they ruled for approximately 250 years. All right? Even the 18th dynasty of Egypt, which was one of the greatest dynasties of Egypt, that ruled, actually it ruled for 255 years. All right? It actually ruled for 255 years, which is not far from 250 year ruling period. So that 18th dynasty that was ruled by Egypt by Ammuz, and then certainly then after by his sons, Amenhotep, and his different sons, Thutmose II, Thutmose III, and the other pharaohs, all right, that ruled that period. That was known as the Thutmose dynasty, and that dynasty ruled in Egypt for 255 years, and that's the dynasty that we were in at that particular time. So most ruling empires rule for approximately 250 years, and after that 250 year begins the decline and the downfall of that kingdom. All right, I read some months back, it was a noted columnist named Armstrong Williams. He did a documentary on that. The vast life period of our kingdoms is 250 years, and he said, is America at its dying bed? Yes, America is at its dying bed. America is at its point where it's going to fall, and nobody's going to save this beast. And a lot of our people is trying to save the beast, all right? To show you how imminent it is, it even stated that the military, the army, the recruiting level of white men joining the military has declined drastically. It's hard for the military, the army, to get white men to join the military. But who's joined the military? Mainly blacks and Hispanics. They said it went up from 17% to 20% of blacks joining the military, and Hispanic went up to 24% joining this man military. But white men, it went down drastically. Less and less white men are joining the military. And that's not a coincidence. The Most High tells you in the scripture that the men of Babylon shall forsake to fight. They're not going to want to fight because they see what's happening. They see the lies that they've been taught by the elites of this society. I want to show you that scripture in the book of of Jeremiah. Hold what you got first, Yakanan. Hold Luke 21. Let's go to Jeremiah 51. The Most High said the men of Babylon is not going to want to fight, all right, because of fear. Let me get that scripture real quick. All right. The water. Mm-hmm. Give me 1 second. Okay, let's go to Jeremiah 51. Jeremiah 51. Let's start from 25. Jeremiah 51. Let's start from 24. Jeremiah 51, 24. Then we go into the book, back to the Luke 21. Jeremiah 51, 24.
And I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, said the Lord.
So see what the Most High said? So this is also twofold. It's speaking about ancient Babylon, and it's also referring to this modern day Babylon, which is America. So it says, I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea, and all their evil that they have done in Zion, in your sight, saith the Most High. So the Most High is going to avenge them for what they have done to Zion, which is the Most High's people, Israel. Continue.
Verse 25, Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain.
So the Most High is against thee, O destroying mountain. This destroying mountain is Babylon the Great. And it was also ancient Babylon. So the Most High is against them. Continue.
Said the Lord, which destroyeth all the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And I will stretch out mine hand upon thee.
See what the Most High said? And the Most High said, and I will stretch out my hand upon thee. Go ahead.
And roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain.
Check that out. The Most High said, and I will make thee a burnt mountain. A burnt mountain means a burned up and destroyed government and nation. Okay? And that's what we're going to see in the book of Revelation. You're going to see that lake of fire. This place is going to be burning for a long time. That lake of fire. So the Most High is going to make Babylon a burnt mountain. Okay? Go ahead.
And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations.
Because there ain't going to be no more foundations. All the foundations are going to be destroyed eventually. Go ahead.
But thou shalt be desolate forever, said the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Set ye up a standard in the land.
Right? Set you up a standard in the land. What is that stand? What is that standard? The word of the Most High. Okay? That's the word of the standard is the word of the Most High. That's the true standard. Okay? Then you have other standards, which is you have a standard bearer that goes out to the people that keeps the people, keep the people charged up, keep the people prepped up. Okay? A standard bearer is a person also in the military that goes and hold up the flag, and he was one that gave the people, inspire the people to continue. All right? So go ahead.
Blow the trumpet among the nations.
So the nation's going to blow their trumpet amongst the nation. All right? Go ahead.
Prepare the nations against her.
See, and the Most High is going to prepare these nations against Babylon. And that's what the Most High is doing with the Houthis. He's going to stir up the Houthis and all the other Arab nations against America and all the other forces. Continue.
Call together against her the kingdom of Ararat, Mini, and Ashkenaz.
And you know who's Ararat back then? Turkey. Turkey is going to be stirred up against Babylon too. Okay? Turkey is going to turn against America eventually. Go ahead.
Appoint a captain against her, cause the horses to come up as the rough pillars.
Caterpillars.
Or rough caterpillars.
Mm-hmm.
Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes.
Check that out. It says prepare. So now the Most High is showing you a twofold part of this. He's showing you when he brought the Medes against ancient Babylon. All right. Now the modern day Medes today represents who? Who's the modern day Medes today? Mm-hmm. Iran. The modern day Medes today represents Iran. See, history always repeats itself. Always repeats itself. Back in the ancient world, the Medes were together joined with the Persians. All right? And it was the Medes and the Persians that took down ancient Babylon. Okay? Read that verse again.
Verse 28. Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes.
Now bring up today's date. Today's Medes represents Iran. Iran is going to be coming against them too. Join against them too. Okay, go ahead.
The captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion.
Mm-hmm.
And the land shall tremble and sorrow,
Mm-hmm.
for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon.
See what the Most High said? And the land shall tremble and sorrow, for every purpose of the Most High shall be performed against Babylon. The Most High is going to perform his purpose against Babylon. This is the Most High's purpose. Why he's stirring up the Houthis and all these other nations to fight against America and England and Israel. Because he's going to bring them to the end of their rulership. Continue.
To make the land of Babylon a desolation without an inhabitant.
And this land over here is going to be a desolate habitation very soon. That's what it's building up to. Continue.
The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight.
That's the men over here, the men of Babylon. Like I showed you earlier, when you go check the statistics, it says white men are joining the U.S. Army less. It's hard for the recruiting army to get white men to fight in the military now because it's based on prophecy. But who is joining the military more and more now? Blacks and Hispanics are joining the military more frequently than the white man is joining the American military. It was out in the report this week. The report came out. Less and less white men are refusing to join the U.S. Army. The percentage has dropped, but the percentage for Hispanics and black has increased tremendously. All right? I was reading it. Where was I reading this? Let me see if I can pull it up. Right, give me 1 second. Read that 20, what verse was that? Read 30 again.
The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight.
Mm-hmm.
They have remained in their holes.
Mm-hmm. They remain in the holes. They're staying home. They're not going to fight. I'm not going to fight. What is their holes? They're staying either into the bunkers. They're staying amongst the Republicans. Okay? We're not going to fight. We're not going to fight for Biden. Okay? Go ahead.
Their might had failed.
See, their might have failed. Okay? Go ahead.
They became as women.
They're becoming like women now. They don't want to fight. They're like women now. Go ahead.
They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken.
Okay, let me see if I can find this report. I was reading, it was in, let me find it so I can pull it up. I should have saved it. All right, give me 1 second. can pull up that report. One second. Hold on me 1 second. Let me see if I find it. Should I save it? It was in a Google. Okay, let me see if I could pull it up in Google. 1 second. Less white men are recruiting for the army. Okay, there it is. See the technology of the white man? Here it is. Army sees sharp decline in white men 3 days ago. Yakana, I'm going to let you read it. All right? All right. Okay, Yakana, Yahweh, get us the Yakana for me. All right, so it was on Google. It says, Army sees sharp decline in white recruits. All right, so you could start from here and you could scroll down. Yakana, read that for me. All right.
The Army's recruiting of white soldiers has dropped significantly.
See that?
In the last half decade.
In the last half decade, in the last 5 years, okay, the Army's recruiting of white men has dropped drastically. Go ahead.
According to internal data reviewed by military.com, a decline that accounts for much of the service historic recruitment slump that has become the subject of increasing concern for Army leadership and Capitol Hill.
Mm-hmm. So it's becoming alarming. They're like wondering, why are we not having white men to fight in the military? So it's going to Capitol Hill now, like, wait a minute, something has to be done. We can't have this. We need men to fight in our military because war is coming. All right, go ahead.
The shift in demographic for incoming recruits would be irrelevant to war planners, except it coincides with an overall shortfall of about 10,000 recruits for the Army in 2023.
See, a shortage of 10,000 for 2023. That's a drop. That's a significant drop. A shortage of men to fight in the military, because the United States now is expanding their military further into the Pacific, out in the area of China, because they know what China is going to do to Taiwan, what's happening over there in the east, in the Red Sea area. Okay, so they know that war is coming, so they need men to fight these wars. Go ahead.
As the service missed its target of 65,000 new soldiers, that deficit is straining the force.
See, it's straining the forces. It's putting a strain on the military force. Okay, go ahead.
As it has ramped up its presence in the Pacific and Europe.
Mm-hmm.
A smaller army is taking on a larger mission and training workload that during the peak of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan leading to soldiers being away from home now more than ever.
See, because they fought in all these wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, and they didn't see no results of it. End up leaving all the weapons and guns and everything over in Afghanistan and got the hell out. They fought 20 years and they see the result. Well, why was fighting this war? Because the Taliban is still back in power again. And Afghanistan still got weapons and men fighting. So they said, what the hell? We was there for 20 years and nothing changed. Yes.
It's just like the Vietnam War.
Just like the Vietnam War. Somebody's at the door. Yeah. All right. So they lost in Iraq. They lost in Afghanistan. So the soldiers saying, what the hell we fighting for? All right. We come back. We don't get no good pensions, no benefits. We live in hell. Homeless. Can't pay our rent. Okay. Go ahead.
A total of 44,042 new Army recruits were categorized by the service as white in 2018, but that number has fallen consistently each year.
That number is dwindling down. Every year it's going down. See, the Most High prophecies don't lie, man. The Most High word is true. All right? And we're going to read that verse again. They said the men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They're not going to join their military like they used to before. Gung-ho, that John Wayne spirit. Yes, sir. Ooh-ha, roo-ha. What's the famous Marine word? Hoorah, hoorah, hoorah. That spirit is not like it used to be back in those days. Okay, go ahead.
But the number has fallen consistently each year to a low of 25,070 in 2023, with a 6% dip from 2022 to 2023.
So it's dipping every year. It's going down less and less. Go ahead.
Being the most significant drop, no other demographic group has seen such a precipitous decline, though there have been ups and downs from year to year.
So they say with no other demographics have not seen a tremendous drop amongst the white population. No other demographics have seen that, only amongst the white men. Okay, go ahead.
In 2018, 56.4% of new recruits were categorized as white. In 2023, that number has fallen to 44% during that same 5-year period. Wow. Black recruits have gone up from 20 to 24%.
Check that out. So blacks went up from 20% to 24%. Imagine that. More blacks, Israelites, are joining the military than white men. Go ahead.
And Hispanic recruits have risen from 17 to 24%.
Check that out. From 17% to 24% Hispanic. So who's joining the military? Blacks and Hispanics. Israelites are joining the military more than his own men. Read that part again.
It's during the same 5-year period, black recruits have gone from 20% to 24% of the pool, and Hispanic recruits have risen from 17% to 24%.
That's a big jump. From 17 to 24%, that's a big jump. Okay, go ahead.
With both groups seeing largely flat recruiting totals, but increasing as a percentage of incoming soldiers as white recruiting has fallen. Okay, so that's good on that. So you see that. So white men are not joining his own men's military. They're like, to hell with that, buddy. Sorry. We've been lied to. We've been used. We're not joining your military. But only simple-minded black people still want to join and fight in his military. So that's why the Most High said in the scripture in Jeremiah, said, we would have, let me get that verse. Hold what you got there in Jeremiah 51 and 30, and come over here to Jeremiah 50, to Jeremiah 51, and read the 7th verse. Jeremiah 51 verse 7. Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand.
And Babylon has been a golden cup in the Most High hand. You know what's a golden cup? A well-cherished, preserved cup. Babylon has been untouched and we've been kept up by the Most High. So Babylon has been a golden cup in the Most High's hand. Go ahead.
That made all the earth drunken.
And they made all the earth drunken with her philosophy and doctrine. Go ahead.
The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad.
Now the nations are mad. The nations are mad. They're angry. Go ahead.
Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed.
See, now Babylon is suddenly fallen and it's going to be destroyed. Go ahead.
Howl for her.
Howl for her. Cry out for her. Howl for her. Go ahead.
Take balm for her pain.
Take balm for her pain. Take healing herbs for her pain. Because you're not going to heal Babylon pain. Okay, go ahead.
If so be as she may be healed.
If so be she may be healed. And she's not going to be healed. But who is trying to heal Babylon? Let's find out.
We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed.
So who's the we that's trying to heal Babylon? Who's the we that's trying to heal Babylon? Israelites. Israelites. Israelites are trying to heal Babylon. They joined the man's military more than Whitey is joining the military. Whites declined from joining the military, but Israelites are joining the military more than Whitey. So the Most High said we would have healed Babylon. The we is not talking about Whitey. The we is talking about our people. We trying to heal Babylon. We trying to save it and keep it going. We trying to keep it up. We don't want it to fall. It's hot, but we still holding it up. We still try to keep it going.
Oh, man.
The white man said, let it drop, baby. But we holding it up no matter what. We put it in my head, put it on my back, I hold it up. Read that verse again.
We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed.
So who's the we now? Israelites. We're the we that's trying to hold it up to heal Babylon. Go ahead.
Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country.
The Most High said, forsake Babylon. Let the thing drop, man. Don't try to build it up and join his military. But we're doing the opposite. We're always doing the opposite. You just read the report, right? It says it went from, blacks went from what? From 20 to 24, and Hispanics went from 17 to 24%. That's a drastic increase, man. All right, of Israelites joining this man military. So they're the one that's trying to heal Babylon and keep Babylon up. All right. So that was it on that, right?
Now it said, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven.
See, her judgment reached unto heaven. Now the Most High said, come out of her, my people, that you be not partaker of her sins. For her judgment, her sins have reached unto heaven. It has reached its height. It has reached its peak of wickedness now. Okay, go ahead.
And is lifted up even to the sky.
So it have passed the point of wickedness now. It's beyond repair. Okay, go ahead.
The Lord had brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord our God.
And that's what we're going to declare, because the Most High, this is the Most High purpose against Babylon. All right. So now go back to Jeremiah 51 and 30, where we just read, where it says the men of Babylon have forborne to fight. Who are these men? White boys. White boys are not joining their military like blacks and Hispanics. Okay. White boys said, to hell with it, baby. We're not going to use us no more. We want to enjoy our pension, and we want to enjoy our retirements. We want to live. We want to live with our family. We don't want to fight your wars. Read that, Jeremiah 51 or 30.
The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holes.
Yeah, they remain in their holes. What is their holes? I'm not going. I'm staying home. I don't care what you said, Biden. We're not fighting for you, Biden. We don't trust you. But they might fight for Trump if Trump said. All right? Oh, yeah. They'll do anything for Trump. Trump is their God. All right? But Trump is going to bring them to their end too. No matter who gets in there. And if Trump gets in, it's over real faster. So they don't have a choice. All right, go ahead.
Their might had failed. They became as women.
Yeah, they became like women now. They don't want to fight. Go ahead.
They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken.
Mm-hmm.
It says 31. One post shall run to meet another, and one messenger to meet another, to show the king of Babylon that his city is taken at one end.
Mm-hmm. And guess what? It's going to be a lot of external uprising in this country too. External and internal. Okay? It's going to be a lot of terrorist acts too. Okay? You got a lot of nations here in this cesspool waiting for the word, man. And they know it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Okay? You can't have all your enemies sitting in your nation and see what they're doing to their people and you not react. It's a natural thing. When you see your people being oppressed, we're the only one that don't do that. Our people being oppressed and we don't give a damn. But the other nations, when their people are being afflicted and oppressed, they react to it. We're the only people that don't do that. We just sit quiet, yes.
What you see also is like even with the Palestinian movement, with the fight that's going on over there, other people are more like speaking out
for them, yeah.
But if it comes to us, it's, it's just the same.
Yeah. They said you had one of the largest protesters from the time that war happened with Palestinians everywhere. Everywhere people protesting in cause of the Palestinians against what the Israelis was doing to the Palestinians. And it's going to continue to increase. Okay? Because everybody's getting fed up with the beast. Everybody's seeing the beast for what the beast is and for what the so-called Israelis are. Okay? Let me play also this. I want to play this here. The sister sent me this here too. It's the real, so maybe about 4 minutes. I want you all to listen to this here. Yeah. Now listen good to this here. Turn it up.
Sub-Saharan Africa has been fundamental to the global prosperity of the advanced countries. And Africa had a role to play. It has a role as a raw material producer. We will not allow Sub-Saharan Africa to escape that. Okay, we do everything to keep Sub-Saharan Africa where it is, also impoverished. It's absolutely vital for the prosperity of everyone else. So let's get clear about that. Okay, and this means all the economic structures, all the global institutions, and the economics we teach everyone is all designed to keep Africa exactly where it is. And whether it is Europe or US or now China, it's always the same. We need Africa to be impoverished because we need those raw materials and we need them dirt cheap. Okay, so that's the message. It doesn't mean to say that there's nothing Africans can do. Of course there is. This is what it's about. Because if Africa does do something different, I assure you living standards of all those in Europe and North America and Asia is going to fall. Okay? And that is a big price to pay. I assure you that the West is not going to allow that without a big fight. Okay, so the job of many Western academics is to convince Africans they have to keep doing what they're doing. Okay? And to show them it's your fault that you're poor. It's not our fault. It's your fault that you're poor. So this is what we do in academic institutions. We know the basic forces that have caused this underdevelopment. We know it's colonization. We cannot afford to allow Africa to industrialize and start producing manufactures. Okay, so we will do everything to stop that. And I'm going to show you how we actually block that. We had East Asian rapid industrialization processes. So in the earlier period, we had Japan and Korea and Taiwan. Okay, rapid growth, sucking in raw materials from Africa, driving up the prices. After those countries finished industrialization, then Sub-Saharan African growth rate again fell. Sub-Saharan Africa is condemned to this role, just the supplier of raw materials, not a manufacturer. The currencies are collapsing of these countries, and many of them are Sub-Saharan African countries. After colonization ended, we needed new structures to keep these countries where they were. Okay? And the first of those is aid. Okay, we give them aid. Aid for what? Actually, we give them aid to keep repressive regimes in power. That's all. All the hypocrisy about transparency and democracy and bullshit like that, it's all bullshit. But it would go to country after country offering loans. And if the president did not accept the loan, they were killed. It's just economics. It's economic warfare. The rich declare war on the poor. It happens everywhere. It happens in a country. The rich control the government. Of course they do. You really believe you have democracy? Come on. Grow up. Who has all the subsidies and income support? US, Europe. The largest budgets in the world for supporting their farmers are Europe and US. You see, we're keeping them dependent. We're keeping them on a string. This next round of the WTO is designed to block that. To block anyone else getting on top of the ladder.
See that? See, it's about white supremacy controlling the resources and the wealth of the earth. So that's why the Most High is stirring up the Houthis over there, and America and England is like, we got to put a stop to these Houthis. Because if we don't stop these Houthis, they're going to stop the flow of shipment from going through the Red Sea. All right? And the Houthis know this. All right? Because the Houthis control the area through the Red Sea. And every shipment that comes through that area, they could control that. And America and Britain say we can't allow this. Because it's about white supremacy, ruling the earth, continue ruling, continue the dominance of the resources, the wealth, the resources, the gold, the diamonds, and every access to Africa. That's what it's about. Ain't about, like he said, no democracy. That's the BS they tell you. Ain't about no democracy. It's about them ruling and could continue their hegemony and their rulership in the earth. That's what it's about. Okay? And they see now that they're coming to the end of their rulership. Right? And that's why the BRICS nation and all the other nations are moving in place now to push the European powers out of power. And they realize this. You understand? So it's coming down, baby. It's coming down. This year, following from now on, it's going to be a hell of a year in prophecy. It's not going to be a cakewalk no more. Okay? And they plan on resetting that currency system. That's the next move. Because they know they're going to war. They know it's coming. They know their rulership is not going to last forever. But it's only our people still believing it, trusting in the system. We would have healed Babylon, right? We want to heal Babylon. But the Most High says she's not healed. The Most High said forsake her. Because the Most High has a better plan for us. All right? So where we were. Verse 32. Read 32.
And that the passages are stopped, and the reeds they have burnt with fire, and the men of war are affrighted.
Mm-hmm. And the men of war is going to be affrighted very soon, because like I said, they're going to be fighting amongst themselves. Then eventually, when they hear Yahweh's voice, they're going to stop fighting amongst themselves, and they're going to focus their attention against Yahweh and the angels. Okay, continue.
For thus said the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her.
You know what that mean? You know what that mean? It's time to reap and cut it down. A threshing floor, you thresh and you cut it down. That's the time we're in now. Babylon's going to be cut down. There's a time to reap. There's a time to sow. There's a time to plant. Now is a time to reap. Read that verse again.
For thus said the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her, yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come.
And the time of our harvest shall come. What is the time of the harvest? When the angels are coming back to reap that harvest. Yahweh Shai said, for the harvest is the end of the world. Let's go to Matthew 13. All right? So we're in the harvest time now. Okay? It's coming down to that point now. Let's go to Matthew the 13th chapter. And this is why Yahweh Shai spoke in parables to the disciples. All right? Matthew 13 and we're going to start from, let's start here from, start from the 37th verse. Actually, read 36. Matthew 13:36.
Then Yahweh sent the multitude away and went into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field.
Okay, he said, declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. So you know the tares represents crops or wheat that look similar to the wheat. All right? So he's going to give you the parable of the tares and the field. All right? Go ahead.
He answered and said unto them, He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man.
He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. He's giving an example of a farmer. A farmer sows seeds in his field. All right? And those seeds are what plant and grow up your crops. And he turns up the field. He put the seeds in. All right? So he's giving an example. He's giving an example of a level of a farmer. And he's giving an example of one that ministers the word. So he's giving you two examples. He's giving the physical and the spiritual example. All right? Go ahead.
The field is the world.
The field is the world. The entire world. All right? Go ahead.
The good seed are the children of the kingdom.
And who's the good seed? The Israelite. The good seed are the children of the kingdom. That's who the good seed are. All right? Because the Most High calls us Israel the seed. Jezreel means the seed of the power. When you read in the book of Hosea, the second chapter, the Most High calls us Jezreel, which means the seed. All right, the seed of the power, the seed of Israel. All right, so read that verse again.
The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
But the tares are the children of the wicked one.
But the tares are the children of the wicked one. And the tares look like the seed of the children of the righteous kingdom. They look like us. They grow up amongst us. All right? So that's why Yahweh Shai said, let the tares and the wheat grow together until the time of the harvest. All right? So you say, well, what does that mean? Okay, you ever seen let me give you an example. Even though I like Bob Marley, I like his music, but Bob Marley's a tear. Yo, how you gonna say that, brother? Bob Marley's a Rasta, brother. Bob Marley a Rasta man, brother. Don't say that, man. But his mother is an Israelite. His grandmother, but his father is an English white man. Okay, and he looks like his father too. Okay, but he's a tear. That's going to be hard for a lot of people to digest and comprehend. But he's a tear. That's why he got the fame and prominence, because the white man knows his own people. When Blackwell separated Bonnie Whaley and Peter Tosh and Bob Marley, he knew exactly what he was doing. The man that formed Island Records, Blackwell, all right, he knew exactly what he was doing. And then so he told Peter Tosh and Bonnie Whaley and Bob Marley, if y'all want to make it big, you got to sing in nightclubs with women naked. So Bonnie Whaley and Peter Tosh said, you know, I and I are Rasta man, we don't deal in that kind of stuff. He said, you know what, we can't do that. So Bob Marley got the fame. Because everything went to him with Island Records. So Peter Tosh and Bonnie Whaley said, nah man, no, we can't do that. But it's a spiritual thing. Everybody see everything as a physical thing. But everything in life is spiritual and physical. Spiritual and physical. So Bob Marley is a tear. Okay? So read that verse again.
The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world.
See, the harvest is the end of the world. Like I said, Babylon is a threshing floor. It's time to treasure the time of the harvest. The harvest is the end of the world, where the angels come to bring destruction and death. And that's the time we're in right now. All right? Read that verse again.
The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world. And the reapers are the angels.
And the reapers are the angels, baby. That's the time we're in. The end of the world, where the reapers are going to come forth to reap that harvest. Continue.
As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world.
What's going to be in the end of the world? Fire. That's the final judgment. That's the judgment that's coming upon Babylon. Babylon the Great. Fire. Okay, go ahead.
The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity. And shall, 42, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire.
And what is that furnace of fire? That furnace of fire is a lake of fire that they speak about in Revelation. The nuclear destruction. The fire that's going to burn this earth up. That's the lake of fire. Okay? That's the final judgment. The Most High say he have preserved this earth until what? The final day of judgment, which is fire. Hold that and go to 2 Peter. 2 Peter 3 and 10. And come back here to Matthew 13. Second Peter 3 and 10.
But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
So he said the elements. You know what are the elements? The elements shall melt with fervent heat. Everything that comes from the element, which comes from what? What are the four elements? Earth, wind, fire, and water. All of that is going to be turned to fire. The wind is going to be like fire. The earth is going to be on fire. Okay? Read that verse again and you're going to see it.
Verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
With fervent heat. Okay, go ahead.
The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up.
Everything here is going to be burnt up. That's the final harvest. Okay, go ahead.
Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved.
What dissolve mean? Dissolve mean to be melted to nothing. To ashes. Okay, it's going to be dissolved. It's going to be a hell of a day, man. People think this is a joke and a fairy tale thing, man. But people don't know how serious this thing is, man. I'm laughing because I know how serious it is. And I know, I don't believe, I know. Okay? Bob Marley even singing this song. He said, it's better to know than to believe. And we know, we don't believe. We know this because the Most High word is the truth. Okay? Read that verse again.
Verse 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?
So what kind of people we have to be? If we know this is going to happen, we have to be holy in conversation and all godliness, because this is going to come. Okay? A lot of people take this for a myth. The Bible is a myth. You guys believe in a fairy tale book. We're going to see who'll have the last laugh in that day, man. You know what I mean? Okay, go ahead.
Looking for and hasten unto the coming of the day of God, wherein the heavens being on fire and shall be dissolved.
Even the heavens is going to be on fire too. Okay, it says the elements shall burn with fervent heat. Okay, go ahead.
And the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
The elements is going to melt with fervent heat. So every steel that you see is going to be melted back down to its natural stage. Yes.
So Ben, this is what's going to be the lake.
The lake of fire.
Lake.
This is going to call the lake of fire. This is going to look like a lake just burning with fire. And it's going to burn for a good long while. Okay? That's what John saw when he looked down. He saw a lake of fire. That wasn't hell John was seeing somewhere. He saw America as a lake of fire burning for a long time. That's all he saw, man. That destructive force. Okay? Because the angels going to bring their destruction, plus the destruction that they're going to use from their nuclear bombs. It's not going to be a beautiful day, man. It's going to be a hell of a day. That's why Yahweh said, it shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth in that day, man. Okay? It's a very serious thing, man. All right? Read the 13th verse.
Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens.
So it says, nevertheless, we, according to his promise. Who is the we? According to his promise. We that believe and understand this, the children of Israel. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, because the Most High made a promise. All right, go ahead.
And a new earth.
We look for a new heavens. Go ahead.
Wherein dwelleth righteousness.
So this is going to destroy, this fire is going to destroy all this wickedness in this earth. And it's going to bring a new heaven and a new earth. It's going to be renewed. All this crap is going to be burned up and destroyed. Get rid of all this damn pollution in the earth. All right? Loose that. Go back to Matthew 13. All right? Hold Matthew 13. What else you holding?
Jeremiah 51.
Okay, lose Jeremiah 51 for now. Hold Matthew 13 and go to Isaiah. Go to Isaiah 20. Tell you right now. Go to Isaiah 24. Okay, Isaiah 24. And start from the 17th verse.
Fear and the pit and the snare are upon thee, O inhabitants of the earth.
That's what's coming upon the inhabitants upon the earth. Fear and the pit and the snare. What is a snare? A trap. The nation's going to fall into a trap. Mainly America's going to fall into a trap. The trap that they have set for everybody else, they're going to fall into their own trap. And their own snares. Continue.
And it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit.
So what's the noise of the fear that they're trying to flee from? The prophecy and the destruction that's at hand. And how are they going to try to flee from it? By going where? In the underground bunkers and shelters, the fallout shelters. You saw the report that came out last week? 1,000 millionaires went into underground shelters and bunkers. They bought bunkers and underground bunkers because they know what's coming. The elites know what's coming. And they're going to try to hide and run away. But the Most High said he got something for them. They're going to try to go down to the sea, down into their underground laboratories. And the Most High is going to get Leviathan to bite them. Leviathan is going to get them, man. They can't run and hide from the Most High. They're going to try to go out to space, in the earth, all right, with the underground fallout shelters. Yes, Gabriel.
You see Amalek got arrested trying to build a bunker in Crown Heights?
Yeah, in Crown House, they had tunnels, underground tunnels. They've been had those things. And they're the only one, there's more of them too, but that's the only one that got busted. Okay? They've been had those tunnels and underground tunnels to hide out and run around. Okay? But he's just the only one that got busted. Okay? Go ahead. Read 18 again.
Oh. And it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit.
Mm-hmm.
And he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare.
They're going to be taken in the snare. Think it's secure. Think it's safe. They're going to be taken in the snare. Okay, the Most High got everything waiting for them. They can't get around the Most High plans. Okay, go ahead.
For the windows from on high are open.
What are the windows from on high? The windows of heaven. The ozone layer has been opened and busted open by them. That's the windows of on high. Okay, go ahead.
And the foundations of the earth do shake.
And the foundation of the earth is going to shake in that day. Okay? And we're going to find out how it's going to shake. What's going to cause it to shake? Go ahead.
The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean, dissolved.
Where did we read that before? Dissolve? Where did we read that? Where did we read that word dissolve? In the book of Peter. The earth is what? Is clean, dissolve. Okay? Go ahead.
The earth is moved exceedingly.
The earth is going to move exceedingly. What's going to cause it to move? Let's find out.
Verse 20. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard.
You ever see a drunken man, how a drunken man walks and stagger? Oh, Mr. Wine, hey, he stagger day. He drunken, he's staggering. What's going to cause the earth to move like a drunken man? The destruction, those missiles. When it hit this earth, baby, it's going to cause it to move off its axis. It's going to be a hell of a destructive force, man. That's why the Most High said the righteous scarcely shall be saved in that day. When all this is going down, the angels coming to deliver us at the same time. So there's no way to escape from this but by the Most High and the angels. All right, continue.
And shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it. and it shall fall and not rise again.
And it's going to fall and not rise again. Okay, go ahead.
And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the hosts of the high ones that are on high.
Who is that? Who are those and who is that? The elites. The elite, the oppressors of this earth that's running in charge of everything. Like the guy said, don't believe that BS of democracy. We control the resources and we keep Africa impoverished. We give them aid. And when they don't follow up, we kill their leaders. That's what they do. Read that book, The Confession of a Hitman. They go around the world and knock off nations when they don't abide, when they get to they pay off money and they can't pay it off, they knock off their leaders. Read that verse again.
Verse 21, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the hosts of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth.
You're going to punish them, the leaders, the elites. The elites of the elites that you don't hear or see about. The top Freemasons that runs this world. All right? The Scottish Rite and all these different groups. The top elite Freemasons that runs this world. The Jesuits. Okay? The unseen forces behind the scene that runs and dictates the policies to America and to every nation on this earth. All right, go ahead.
And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit.
They're going to be rounded up like prisoners. You're going to jail, baby. Okay, go ahead.
And shall be shut up in the prison.
And we're going to shut them up in the prison. They're not escaping. That's what the Most High said. You're going to bind their kings and their nobles. Hold that. Go to Psalm 149. Hold that right there. Psalm, Most High said you're going to bind their nobles with fetters of irons. You're going to put some big heavy chains on their foot so they can't run. All right? And you're going to put them in jail, man. They're going in jail. And after that, they're going to be put to death. Psalms 149. 149 and the 5th verse.
Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds.
Yeah, we're going to sing aloud upon our beds because we're going to have justice from the Most High when we see what the Most High is going to do. He said, let the saints be joyful in glory. All right, go ahead.
Let the high praises of God be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand.
And a two-edged sword in their hand. Not the Bible, but a real two-edged sword, baby. Okay, go ahead.
To execute vengeance upon the heathen, and punishments upon the people.
And punishments upon the people. Okay, go ahead.
To bind their kings with chains.
See, to bind their kings with chains. You're going to put chains around them. Chain them up. Okay, go ahead.
And their nobles with fetters of iron.
And who's their nobles? The elites. The top elites that runs this country. Okay? And their nobles with fetters of iron. Big iron ball chains around their foot. That get here to us and say so we can't run away? You can't run, baby. You're going to put that big 50-pound ball on your foot. So let's see if you can run with that. Okay? Go ahead.
To execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints.
See? That's an honor. That's an honor. This honor have ye all his saints. Go ahead.
Praise ye the Lord.
Praise ye the Most High. We're going to praise the Most High for that. I know some people ain't going to like to hear that, but I'm loving that. I can't want no better than that. Okay? Now go back to where we were in Isaiah. Read 22. Read 22 again.
And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison. And after many days shall they be visited.
What does it mean by that? And after many days shall they be visited. How are we going to visit them? How are we going to visit them? With the judgment of death. That's the penalty. Death penalty. They're going to be in the prison, and we're going to hand out the judgment to them. We read the judgment in Psalms to execute vengeance. The penalty is death for these elite family rulers. They're not going unpunished. Read that verse again. And after many days shall they be visited for the judgment.
Verse 22. And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit.
In a pit. You're going to put them in a pit. Okay? That's going to be the prison, in a pit. Okay? You know that's a pit, right? You dig a hole and you put them down in there. Down in the ground. You love to go in the ground, right? We're going to put you in a pit, all right? Like they did to us. Remember Bob Marley said, "Oh, pirates, yes, they rabbi. Stole I to the merchant ships. Minutes afterward they took I from the bottomless pit." All right? So we're going to put them back in the pit. All right? See, Bob Marley knew what he was singing. That's one thing about him. His songs was on point, man. His songs was on point. Okay? Read it again.
Verse 22. And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison. And after many days shall they be visited.
And after the many days, we're going to visit them with the judgment of death. That's the judgment. All right? Read the last verse.
Verse 23. Then the moon shall be confounded, and the sun ashamed, when the Lord of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem, and before his ancients gloriously.
What does that mean? When it said the moon shall be confounded and the sun ashamed, what does that mean? It's not literally speaking about the sun and the moon. It's not going to be confounded, but it's talking about their wisdom and their glory. All that they have is going to be confounded. It's going to be brought to nothing. Because the sun represents what? Life with what? Shining wisdom. To bring forth wisdom. And the moon represents the lesser light, right? Now, how do we know that? Let's go to Revelation. Right? Remember when, let's go to Revelation 12. Let me show you so you can get a better understanding. Remember when John was showing you about, remember when Joseph had a dream? He saw the sun, the moon, and the 12 stars. All right, so go here. Go to Revelation 12 and start here from, read the first verse, Revelation 12 and 1.
And there, verse 1, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
Which represents what? The 12 tribes of Israel. All right? Okay, go ahead.
And she, in being with child, cried, travailing in birth, and pained to be delivered.
All right? That was during the time when Herod was killing all the firstborn in Jerusalem, and Yahushua was about to be born. All right, go ahead.
And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon.
Who was that great red dragon? The Roman Empire and Herod. All right, the Roman Empire, because the Roman Empire was ruling at that time, and they were the one that was killing us. And they set up Herod to be governor over Jerusalem. Right? Go ahead.
Having 7 heads and 10 horns.
And the Roman Empire had 7 heads and 10 horns. 7 other European powers that came out from it. And the 10 horns represents what at that time was called the common markets. Today it's known as what? The EU or NATO. All right? Continue.
And 7 crowns upon his head.
And each of those rulership had crowns. They took rulership of the earth. The French, the Germans, the British, the Spanish. All right? Each of them took control of the earth, rulership of the earth. All right? Go ahead.
And his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven.
And who are the stars of heaven? Israel. We were the stars of heaven that they drew down from the heavens. The heavens being took us from our glory and our rulership. Yes.
Is it referring to Benjamin, Levi, and Judah?
Yeah. All right, because that's who was in Jerusalem at that time. So they took us down from our heavenly state, which is our rulership, our kingdom, and they brought us down to the ground, to a low level. All right, go ahead.
And did cast them to the earth.
Cast us to the earth, brought us down to a low level. All right, when you're down on the earth, you're on a low level. When you're in rulership, you're in your heaven. All right, go ahead.
And the dragon stood before the woman.
And the dragon stood before the woman, the Roman Empire, Satan, the Roman Empire, Herod, stood before the woman, which was Israel. All right, go ahead.
Which was ready to be delivered for to devour her child as soon as it was born.
And what was Herod trying to do when Yahushua was born? He was trying to kill all the male child that was born during that time. And where did Yahushua had to flee to? Into Egypt. Then he came back after Herod died. Because he was making an extermination of all the male children from 2 years and under. All right? So they was doing tremendous evil to us, man. And still doing it up to this day too. All right, go ahead.
And she brought forth a man-child.
And who was that man-child? Yahushua. All right, go ahead.
Who was to rule all nations.
And he's going to rule all nations. Okay, go ahead.
With a rod of iron.
With a rod of iron, with true justice and judgment. According to the laws of the Most High. That's the rod of iron. Justice. All right, go ahead.
And her child was caught up unto God and to his throne.
And when was that done? After he died and was resurrected. All right, go ahead.
And the woman fled into the wilderness where she had a place prepared of God.
Now it's jumping to the future now. It's jumping to the future now from that point. All right? You're going from the past to the present to the future. Now it's jumping to the future. All right? Go ahead.
That they should feed her there 1,260 days.
3 days, 3.5 years in the wilderness. All right? When you calculate that, 1,260 days comes out to 3.5 years. All right? How many days make a year? 360. So 360 times 3 is how much? Calculate on your calculator. 360 times 3 is how much? 1,080 plus a half plus 6 more months. 1,086. Sure. 1,203 school days. A half a year is 6 months. So it's almost 4 years. 3.5 years. What you got? 3.5, yeah. All right. So that's the 3.5 years that we're going to be in the wilderness. We're not going to be in the wilderness 40 years. No, No. No. Hell no. Most likely, he's going to bring us into the wilderness and purge all the rebels, man. And this time it's going to be quick execution, man. Okay, ain't going to be no 40 years with Moses. Hell no. Because the angel's going to be there, man. Okay? All right? 3.5 years. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 7. And there was war in heaven.
And there's going to be war in heaven. It's going to start from the heavens because that's where the angels is coming from. All right? They're going to fight with their space force. All right? Their Star Wars project to fight against the return. Remember Reagan? That was his baby. That was his prize to create a Star Wars initiative program to fight against the return of unseen alien forces. He said, what if, and I'm paraphrasing his speech, he said, what if we had to encounter unseen forces that's coming to invade our earth? We will need a Star Wars project to fight against such an invasion. That was his speech that he made. I'm just paraphrasing it, but he made that speech back in the 80s. And from then, the United States have been developing this Star Wars project to fight against the return of the unseen forces in outer space. That's no myth. The United States leads the world in that project. Okay, so it's going to be that war. They're going to fight against the angels, Michael and the angels. And they believe they're going to win. They're very delusional to believe that. Okay, go ahead.
Michael and his angels fought against the dragon.
Yeah, they're going to fight against the dragon, which is the EU, NATO, and all the military forces here in this earth. All right, go ahead.
And the dragon fought and his angels.
And the dragon fought with his angels. Who is his angels? All the forces here in the earth, the military forces. They're going to fight. Go ahead.
And prevailed not.
And they're not going to prevail. They're going to lose. All right, go ahead.
Neither was their place found anymore in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out.
They're going to be cast out. Their rulership, they're going to lose their rulership. All right, go ahead.
That old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world.
Now, Satan is not going to be cast out. He's just going to lose his power to influence the nations. He's not going to have that power no more because righteousness is going to dominate over the entire earth. He's not going to have the influence like he has now to deceive the nations. All right, continue.
He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation.
Now is coming salvation. Go ahead.
And strength, and the kingdom of our God, and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night.
And who's the accuser of our brethren? And who else? Esau, our brother. He's going to be cast down. All these forces are going to be cast down in that day. Okay? The only force that's going to rule this earth is the righteous force of the Most High and his people. All the wicked forces, the entity of Satan, his power, his influence, all that's going to be destroyed in that day. But Satan is still going to be here, but he ain't going to have no power. Satan has the power right now, right? He had it for a long time, since the Garden of Eden, right? But in that day, it's going to be done. It's going to be gone. Ruling for a long time, his influence. Satan been ruling in every kingdom upon this earth. He's been influenced every rulership and kingdom in this earth. Even when we rule, he was influencing us too. By using who?
Eve.
Not only Eve, who else? who was he mainly using amongst our people? Who was Satan mainly influencing and using? The Pharisees and the Sadducees and the elders and the scribes. He was highly influencing them to do what they do against us and against Yahushua. Understand? And some of our leaders, when they went off, Satan was influencing them. That's why the Most High had to destroy a lot of our kings, because they were highly influenced by Satan. Saul. Look at the one that married Jezebel. What's his name? Ahab. Ahab was a wicked king. The Most High had to get rid of him. All right? And one of the longest reigning king was who? Excuse me, was who? Who was the longest reigning king in Israel? And he wrote a long forgiveness prayer in the Apocrypha. Manasseh. He was a wicked king. But he repented, and the Most High extended his life and his reign. He's the only king that ruled for 50 years. Because he repented, the Most High spared his life. And he wrote that prayer in the Apocrypha, the prayer of Manasseh. It's a long prayer, man. But the Most High saw when he repented, the Most High said, okay, I'm going to repent and give you a longer life to live. Because he repented. All right? And he reigned for 50 years as a king. Yeah.
When I see that, I said, I got hope.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And he was a wicked dude. He was a wicked king, man. But when he repented, that's what the Most High saw. The Most High said, what? The Most High said, man. And he wrote that prayer. The Most High said, okay, I'm going to extend your life. All right? So that's sure repentance, man, is a powerful thing, man. That destroys Satan's power over you. Satan don't have no power over you once you repent, man. Satan got to back up. He can't do nothing against you, man. Yep. That's why the scripture said, there's rejoicing in the heaven when one sinner repenteth, man. The angels rejoice in the heaven, man. That's power. It's powerful, man. All right? So go back to Jeremiah. We'll finish up Jeremiah. All right, then we'll go back to Luke. Jeremiah 51, we left off in what verse? Jeremiah 51 in the 33rd verse, right? Okay, read 33 again. Oh no, we didn't finish Matthew 13. Go back to Matthew 13. We didn't finish that. Yeah. Matthew 13. Matthew 13, and we left off in the 42nd verse.
Matthew chapter 13, verse 42. And shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth.
See that? There's going to be wailing and gnashing of teeth. It's going to be a lot of crying. Like Biggie said, it's going to be a lot of slow crying, man. All right? Going to be a lot of wailing and crying that day, man. Gnashing of teeth, man. Not going to be a beautiful day, man. All right, go ahead.
Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father.
All right. So that sun and moon wasn't really representing the sun and the moon. It's representing their wisdom and their power that they have in the earth, their influence. Because the righteous is going to shine forth as a what? He said the righteous shall shine forth as what?
As the sun in the kingdom of their Father.
See? So it's not talking when we read in Isaiah, it said the sun and the moon shall be confounded in that day. It wasn't talking about the literal sun and the moon. It's talking about their power and their wisdom and their influence in the earth. It's going to be confounded. But the righteous is going to shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of the Most High. Read that verse again.
Verse 43. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who had ears to hear, let him hear.
All right, go ahead.
And again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto treasure hid in a field, the which when a man had found, he hide it, and for joy thereof goeth and selleth all that he had, and buyeth that field.
Go ahead.
Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a merchant man seeking goodly pearls, who when he had found one pearl of great price, went and sold all that he had and bought it. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a net that was cast into the sea and gathered of every kind, which when it was full, they drew to shore and sat down and gathered the good into vessels, but cast the bad away. So shall it be at the end of the world.
See what he said? Now, so shall it be at the end of the world. All right, go ahead.
The angels shall come forth and sever the wicked from among the just.
And that's going to happen. That's coming. The angel is going to sever the just from the wicked. All right, go ahead.
And shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Yahweh said unto them, have ye understood all these things? They said unto him, yea, Lord.
They said, Yahweh said, do you understand what I'm telling you? And they say, yeah. Okay? So in the end of the world, it's going to be fire, baby, fire. You see why Capitan is a fireman? Fire, fire, fire. Lava. Most High is fire. That's the maker of the Most High. The Most High is a consuming fire. Everything about the Most High is fire. His words is fire. All right? So, go back to Jeremiah. Jeremiah 51. And we're going to close out. Okay, Jeremiah 51 and 33?
Verse 33. For thus said the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her.
So it's time to thresh her. It's time to thresh Babylon. That's the time we're in now. Okay, go ahead.
Yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come.
See? And yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come. The time of Babylon, the great harvest, is coming. And nobody's going to stop it. Okay, go ahead.
Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had devoured me. He had crushed me. He had made me an empty vessel. He had swallowed me up like a dragon. He had filled his belly with my delicacies. He had cast me out.
So who was he talking about? And what was he referring to when he says, Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, have devoured me? Who was he talking about?
The king Nebuchadnezzar and his system.
Who did he devour? Judah. Israel, during the time of the Babylonian captivity.
Right.
He devoured us. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 35. The violence done to me and to my flesh be upon Babylon.
See what he said? So the same thing that Nebuchadnezzar did to Babylon, It's the same that's going to happen here to this Babylon. What they have done to us is going to be done back unto them. Read that verse again.
The violence done to me and to my flesh be upon Babylon, shall the inhabitant of Zion say, and my blood upon the inhabitants of Chaldea shall Jerusalem say.
So their blood is going to be upon them for what they did to us. All right, go ahead.
Therefore, thus said the Lord, behold, I will plead thy cause and take vengeance for thee.
See?
And I will dry up her sea and make her springs dry.
And what is her springs? What are the springs today? Springs today are called what? Rivers, lakes. And the rivers and lakes drying up. Lake Mead was dried up. They started finding all the dead bodies of the mafia dumping there. All right? Even the Mississippi was drying up. All right? Remember for summer last year, you had all of Europe, all the rivers, everywhere was drying up. All right? Battleship was sunk there for World War II was being emerged now because all the rivers, the Rhine, all were being dried up. The Euphrates, even the Euphrates is drying up now. It's that close now. Once that completely dried up, it's on, baby. It's on. And troops coming over there. They're getting ready for this war. That's why it's being built up now. It's heating up. Okay? That's why you see the Houthis and all the groups over there, Hezbollah. It's going to intensify. It's not going to stop now. You can't bottle this back up and put it back in the genie. The genie is out the bottle now. Yes.
Wasn't it this week that they bombed Lebanon?
They bombed Yemen, where the Houthis are. Yeah. Hezbollah, yeah, Lebanon, right? Yeah, they killed one of a Hezbollah leader. The Israeli killed him with a drone. All right, so they're assassinating leaders now. So if they start doing that, what make you think the other nation ain't gonna start doing it too? If you assassinate my leaders, I'm gonna start to assassinate yours too.
Iran claimed war against Israel and America.
Yeah. So it's going to intensify. It's not going to stop now. That genie can't be put back in that bottle, man. That genie is out now and she's running wild. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 37. And Babylon shall become heaps, a dwelling place for dragons.
That's a future judgment of Babylon. It's going to be what? Become heaps and a dwelling place for dragons. Ain't gonna be no life over here. Only life for dragons, owls, and desert creatures. Okay, ain't gonna be no fertile life over here, green forest or nothing. It's gonna be a desolate wilderness, a desert. This is gonna be the largest desert on the face of the earth when this thing is finished. When that smoke and fire goes out, it's gonna be none but a desert. It tells you in the book of Isaiah. All right, go ahead.
An astonishment and an hissing without an inhabitant. They shall roar together like lions. They shall yell as lions whelp.
Hold that. Go to Isaiah 34. I want to share it. Isaiah 34, and start here from this word keep coming up all the time, boy. Read Isaiah 34 and 4. Our word keep popping up every time we read it, boy. Isaiah 34 and 4.
And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved.
See it again? Where we read that? How many places we read that? And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved. Okay? The host of heaven is going to be dissolved. All right, go ahead.
And the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll.
Like a mushroom cloud, that mushroom cloud effect, that's what we're going to see. Go ahead.
And all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a fallen fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You see that? Who's Idumea? Edom. So people say, the Edomites are not here no more. They're no more Edomites. But this is a future prophecy, right? It said, my sword shall come upon Idumea. So showing you who the judgment is coming upon. Read that verse again.
For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to
You
judgment.
see that? Upon the people of my curse. What is that curse? Leprosy. To judgment. They're the people of the Most High curse to judgment. All right? That's the judgment. That's the judgment that's coming. Go ahead.
The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord had a sacrifice in Bozrah and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea.
So it's going to be a great sacrifice and death and destruction. Okay? It's going to be a lot of death and bloodshed, man. Okay? Continue.
And the unicorns shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood.
You see that? Their land shall be soaked with blood. That's why it tells you in Revelation, the blood is going to be up to the horse's bridle. That's a lot of blood going to be flowing throughout this whole place, man. Right? And a horse's bridle, a horse stands like what? 6-7 feet to his bridle. I mean, it's going to be a lot of blood flowing in the streets, man. A lot of death and destruction. Okay, go ahead.
And their dust made fat with fatness. Verse 8, for it is the day of the Lord's vengeance,
You see that?
and the year of recompenses, for the controversy of Zion.
And what is the controversy of Zion?
Who's the children?
Who's the children of Israel? Who are the true children of Zion? That's the controversy.
The big question.
That's the big question, and that's the big payback the Most High is going to put to the people of the earth. For the true controversy of Zion, who are the true children of Zion? The big payback, man. Even James Brown had that right. The big payback, man. All right, go ahead.
And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch.
See, the streams. What is the streams? The rivers, the lakes. The streams going to turn into pitch. What is pitch? Like tar. All right, go ahead.
And the dust thereof into brimstone.
The dust going to turn into brimstone. Even the dust going to turn into brimstone. Okay, the fire that's coming. Go ahead.
And the land thereof shall become burning pitch.
See, this place is going to be a burning pitch. Because what's under the earth here in America? Oils, electrical wires, every gas. All that is going to be burned up in that day, man. It's going to be a hell of a mess. That's why it says the earth is going to reel to and fro. All that gas is going to explode. It's going to cause the earth, the nuclear bombs. This place is going to be on fire, rocking, man. Okay? There's butane gas. There's all type of gas under the oil fields, nuclear waste, pipelines. It's going to be hell, man. All right? Go ahead.
It shall not be quenched, night nor day.
It's going to be burning for a long time. Night and day is going to be burning. Okay, go ahead.
The smoke thereof shall go up forever.
A long time. A long time. Okay, go ahead.
From generation to generation it shall lie waste.
See, it's going to lie waste. Okay, go ahead.
None shall pass through it forever and ever.
Nobody's going to pass through here no more. It's going to be a waste desert. Everything is going to be melted back to dust. Okay, all these buildings, iron structures, everything is going to be turned back to its natural element. Okay, go ahead.
But the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it.
Wild creatures. Okay, go ahead.
The owl also and the raven shall dwell in it, and he shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion and the stones of emptiness. They shall call the nobles thereof to the kingdom.
Who's that? He said, they shall call the nobles thereof to the kingdom. Who is that? The elites. The military generals. They're going to call him. There's anybody there? Everybody alive? They're going to be calling to the rest of the nobles around the world. Is anybody surviving? Read again.
Verse 12. They shall call the nobles thereof to the kingdom, but none shall be there.
None is going to be there. Okay, go ahead.
And all their princes shall be nothing.
And all their princes and their leaders going to be nothing. They're going to be brought down. They ain't going to be there to answer the phone. Yes, we're all right. We're still there. Talking about, yes, continue our plans as forward. No, your plan's going to be made to rubble. All right, go ahead.
And thorns shall come up in her palaces.
We know what thorns? It's in all the palaces, thorns is going to come up. It's going to be desolate. The White House, that's going to be level. All right, go ahead.
Nettles and brambles in the fortresses thereof, and it shall be an habitation of dragons and a court for owls.
Right. So you're going to have dragons dwelling over here. The dragons are those big lizards. Big Komodo dragon lizards. And the owls going to be dwelling over here. I wonder what kind of food they're going to eat, boy. All right, go ahead.
The wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the wild beasts of the island.
See, wild beasts is going to be over here. Okay, go ahead.
And the satyr shall cry to his fellow. The screech owl also shall rest there and find for herself a place of rest. There shall the great owl make her nest and lay and hatch and gather under her shadow. There shall the vultures also be gathered, every one with her mate.
Right. So that's who's going to be over here when it's finally said and done. When the smoke finally clears. All right. And read that 16th verse.
Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail.
No one of these prophecies shall fail. Or what's written in here shall fail. All right. Go ahead.
None shall want her mate.
Ain't no book could want the mate to this Bible. No book out there. Okay, go ahead.
For my mouth it had commanded, and his spirit it had gathered them.
The Most High Spirit is what gathered these prophecies and to have these words written by the prophets. All right? So let's go to Luke. I'm going to close up after this here real quick. Luke 21. Luke 21 and start here from the 8th verse. I'll tell you what. Now I'll start from read the 5th verse.
And as some spake of the temple, how it was adorned with goodly stones and gifts, he said.
So the temple was adorned with goodly stones. It was well built together and compacted, man. Okay, Solomon Temple was one of the 7 wonders of the world, man, when it was set up. All right, go ahead.
As for these things which ye behold, the days will come in which there shall not be left one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down.
So when the Romans came and destroyed Jerusalem, they destroyed everything. They took the temple and everything down to rubbles. Not one stone was left standing. It was brought down to rubbles. How they destroyed Jerusalem. All right, go ahead.
And they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be? And what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, Take heed that ye be not deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and the time draweth near. Go ye not therefore after them.
Right, and a lot of people came out saying they're the Christ, I'm that, deceiving people. All right, go ahead. And it mainly came in the form of Christianity. Christianity was the main one that deceived a lot of people in the earth. False Christianity. Okay, go ahead.
But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by.
So when he spoke that at that time, the end wasn't then. The end wasn't there. That wasn't the end. But now, this is the end. All right, go ahead.
Then said he unto them, Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom.
And that's happening, and that's going to happen all the way until the end, and it's going to increase. All right, continue.
And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines, and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven.
Mm-hmm.
But before all things, But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake.
Mm-hmm. And that happened during the time of the disciples. All right, go ahead.
And it shall turn to you for a testimony.
And it was for a testimony. All right, go ahead.
Settle it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before what ye shall answer. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist.
So he's going to give them that spirit. He's going to send that spirit. That spirit was that spirit of intellect to understand. Yes. We're in Luke 21 and 15. All right? So the Most High was going to send that spirit, his spirit, to give them the words and the wisdom and knowledge to destroy any gainsay of the enemy. Right? Because it wasn't on their own accord. It was done through the spirit of the Most High. So read that verse again. Read 14 again.
Settle it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before what ye shall answer. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom.
See, he's going to give him a mouth and a wisdom, all right? What to say, all right? And what to bring out in what you're going to say. All right? Go ahead.
Which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. And ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death.
And that's going to happen in these last days too. That's going to happen in these last days too. Some of your own family, your friends are going to turn against you. All right? And turn you in. There we go, those Israelites. They're against you. They're against your system. They won't take the mark of the beast. I know who he is. Look them over there. All right, go ahead.
And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But there shall not an hair of your head perish. In your patience possess ye your soul.
See that? In your patience possess ye your soul. How do you do that? In your patience possess ye your soul. In all the patient things you're going through, you have to have control of your soul. Right, so you don't fall into diverse temptations and different traps by Satan. So you have to possess your soul. You have to have patience. All right, so he said, in your patience possess ye your soul. All right, go ahead.
And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
So when 70 AD hit, when the Romans came and destroyed Jerusalem, that's when they knew that prophecy was being fulfilled. And those who was there to see that, they either had to flee out or be put to death. And that was a hell of a day when the Romans destroyed Jerusalem, man. That was the worst thing that ever happened in our history. Then slavery coming as transatlantic slavery. Jerusalem and that. Those were one of the two most horrific things that ever happened in our history.
Man, you could clearly see from that they knew who we were, because when we flee, they, like today, that's why they even know that who we are today. Because of that. They understood that.
They understood, yeah. And the elites know there's some devils, man, but they wouldn't allow the lie to portray the lie to keep white supremacy going. It's all about white supremacy. White supremacy in the educational system, white supremacy in the economics, white supremacy in history, white supremacy in religion, white supremacy in politics, white supremacy in everything that they encounter and put forward. Yes.
Yeah, I think I have a preset for that verse that is there. In your patience,
Possess ye your soul.
possess your soul. I'm reading from the book of Isaiah 40 and 31, and it reads, but they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Yeah.
Right. That's what I mean by that.
So the more you wait and be confident.
That's right.
You get stronger.
Renew your strength. And how do you renew your strength? Through the words, the scriptures. This is the comforter. This is where you nourish yourself. This is where you build up your faith in. The words. All right? Okay, go ahead.
Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains.
So we fled to the mountains. Some of us ran to Masada, all right, which was a mountain, a fortress. All right, go ahead.
and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter therein.
In the countries, don't come into Jerusalem. Stay out. Because the Romans is going to lay you down and drag you into slavery. All right? Go ahead.
For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled.
That was the day of vengeance. 70 AD was the Most High vengeance against us, and he used the Roman army to bring his vengeance against us. All right? Go ahead.
But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days.
So why did Yahushua say that? But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. Why did he say that? Why did he make that statement?
Because of what we were going through under the siege of the
Right.
Roman,
There was no food.
children.
There was no food. There was no food for the woman to feed the children. Okay, it was a famine. The Romans cut off every food, everything from, they cut off the water. They put a siege. They sieged the city for 7 years. No food, no water, nothing coming in. So they put a heavy siege. And what's the modern term for a siege that they use today? What's the modern term that they use for a siege today? It's a term they call today. When they put a siege on a nation, what is it called today? An embargo. That's what they did to Cuba for what? 50 years. You don't go along with their program, they put an embargo against you. That's what they did to Cuba. Only way Cuba could exchange with Russia and with Trinidad. That was Cuba's biggest trading partner, Trinidad. Okay? Trinidad was selling them the oil, and Cuba was selling them all the fruits and everything. But they put a heavy embargo on Cuba. No other nation around the world could deal with Cuba as far as monetary and trading. And that's what they love to do. I'll show you how they control the economics and the policy of the world. They cut you off. Bunch of devils. Yes, Gabriel.
I have a question. Verse 20, when you see the siege on Jerusalem,
Mm-hmm.
that's coming again, right, with the abomination of desolation.
Yeah, that's going to come again too. Yeah, that's going to come. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. History always repeats itself, man.
When they said when you see the abomination of desolation built, get out of the city.
Mm-hmm. All right.
That's that text that say you can't flee to the other city because they're gonna be traps. Like,
Mm-hmm. Right.
I think there's a precepts that can back what Sister Deborah said.
Mm-hmm.
Yahweh said, "My judgment is like a revolving,
Mm-hmm.
comes around
Right, like a circle, yeah. Mm-hmm. Like a ring, yeah. Mm-hmm. So they got plans to do things against it, but the Most High he's going to bust their plans, man. The Most High said he set a trap, and they're going to fall into their own trap. They always been setting traps for us, man. You understand? And they end up falling into their own trap that they have devised for us. The wicked is going to fall into his own device and traps that he have made. All right? Continue. So read 23 again.
Okay. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days.
Right, because there was no food, it was a famine. And the Romans deliberately besieged the city, man. No food coming in, nothing coming out. They started to sprinkle salt over the land to kill off the crops, everything. No food, no water. And you know, once you got no water and food coming in, that's pure hell to pay, man. All right, go ahead.
For there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people.
And the Most High was using the Romans to bring the wrath upon us too, for our disobedience. All right, go ahead.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
And we're coming to that point now where the times of the Gentiles is going to be fulfilled. The end of their reign in this earth. So from that time that we were destroyed and went into slavery up until this present day, the Gentiles are still ruling the earth. And their influence is in the earth. They control every aspect of this world. Okay? And every level. Continue.
And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations.
And nations going to be in distress. All right, go ahead.
With perplexity.
With perplexity, problems unsolvable. All right, go ahead.
The sea and the waves roaring. Men hearts failing them for fear.
Yeah, a lot of people going to die from heart attacks when this thing really comes on. When this thing really intensifies, people's going to drop dead of heart attacks, man. Okay, go ahead.
And for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken.
And the powers of heaven represents what? The rulers of this earth. Their heaven is going to be shaken. Okay? They're about to lose their rulership in the earth. Continue.
And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory.
So you see that word, that cloud. That's a parable. All right? And that was put, Yahushua deliberately put that word there, cloud. And he was put there for us to decipher it. We know what the cloud is, right? How could he come in a cloud? Think logically now. How could he come in a cloud? So it has to be something different than a physical cloud. It has to be the angelic vehicles that the angels are coming in. Yes, Yahweh.
Yeah, he caught that man on the.
Yeah, he knows it. He knows that.
When they had that mothership and the clouds in front of him,
He knows what it is. The elites know what it is. They know the cloud represents the mothership and all the ships that's coming. They know it. When they read this, they don't read this like a Christian. They go in and research every word and every etymology and look up everything. Everything to the bone, down to take off the skin off of it so they could know what this is talking about. They want to know. Understand? They ain't like the Christian in the church reading, oh, he's coming in a cloud. What does it mean? I don't know. But leave it to God. Hallelujah. All right? The white man said, oh, no, Jim. This is not a cloud, Jim. He's telling us he's coming in a mothership. And they do a diligent inquiry about that. You understand? They're stupid, they're dumb, but they're not foolish like that. Okay? Continue.
And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh.
Right, so our redemption is drawing nigh. Okay? It's drawing nigh, it's close. All right, go ahead.
And he spake to them a parable. Behold, the fig tree and all the trees, when they now shoot forth, ye see and know of your own selves that summer is now nigh at hand.
And that fig tree, we represent the fig tree. Israel represents the fig tree. We are that fig tree. All right, go ahead.
So likewise when ye see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of God is nigh at hand.
So you see that? Know that the kingdom of the Most High is nigh at hand. All right, go ahead.
Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled.
What generation he was talking about? Was it a generation back then that he was talking about? No, he's talking about this generation now. This generation now. Read it. Read it again.
Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled.
And it's going to be fulfilled in this generation. We're in the third and fourth generation now. This is it. All right, go ahead.
Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away.
See, but his words is not going to pass away. It's going to be forever. All right, go ahead.
And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that they come upon you unawares.
Do you understand that scripture? You understand what he's saying right there in the scripture?
Be on guard.
Be on guard. Don't just say, oh, no, that's not going to happen. My grandmother been saying that too. Oh, no, that's what people say. The church been saying that. Don't take it like that and think it's just a joke. Well, you know what? I'll go back to doing what else you do. No, this is real. He's telling you. All right? A lot of people's gonna be in for a rude awakening, man. A lot of people that took this book for a myth, a fairy tale. Oh, some bunch of white man wrote this. You believe that? What some white man wrote? They're gonna be in for a lot of rude awakening, man. Right? That's why Yahweh said, blessed is he that believeth which you have not seen. All right? Is you more blessed than those that have seen and heard of this because of your faith.
Yeah.
All right? Go ahead.
For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth.
See what he said? For as a snare shall it come upon all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. This has come like a snare and a trap to the rest of the people that didn't believe this and think this is a joke. It's going to be a snare and a trap unto them. And when they see it, ain't nothing they could do but say. They're going to be so mystified and so confounded. All right, go ahead.
Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man.
Mm-hmm.
And in the daytime he was teaching in the temple, and at night he went out and abode in the mount that is called the Mount of Olives.
Mm-hmm.
And all the people came early in the morning to him in the temple for to hear him.
All right, so I said with that, I said Shalom, and I'll end this class and this segment. And I said, Kwam Yashra to all Israel, and may the grace of the Most High, peace be upon every one of us. And I say Shalom. Kwam Yashra.
Kwam Yashra.